the Monday, January 29th episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. Hope everybody's doing well this morning. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Back to the grind. Had a day off. Got absolutely nothing done here around the house except, working on tomorrow's video. But looking forward to a new week. Same as the old one. Four days off, 3 days on, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Y'all know the story. Good morning, Dev. Good morning, Tony. Good to see you guys. All wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. As you could see by the thumbnail for the video or for the live stream this morning, I am still working on the possibility of opening Papaw's Pizzeria here in town. I even managed to find that cute little pizza chef that kind of sort of looks like me. I never realized that finding investors for a pizza place that everybody seems to want is going to be as hard as it was. I assembled an antenna and programmed a few radios. Progress. Oh, you assembled and assembled? Even better. Even more progress. When you can walk away from a weekend and know that you managed to do something, I mean, it's always good. Good morning, Sarah. Good to see you, love. Hope you're doing well this morning. People who invest in things tend to frequent pizzerias. Tell me about it. If I wasn't carrying such a grudge, I would actually present this to the old owners of the bar that we know really well, and see if they're interested. But I'm not going to do it. You need read better. Gimbaled an antenna and programmed a few radios. Assembled too. I think my reading is just fine, sir. That says assembled. Actually, I don't know about Bill Gates, but I've heard that Elon Musk loves pizza. So I don't know about Bill Gates though. I don't pay no attention to Bill Gates, but I've heard that Elon Musk absolutely loves pizza. I don't know if it's true or not. I mean, I've never caught video of Elon sitting down to a Philly steak and cheese pizza or a chicken bacon ranch pizza or something like that. Who knows? It could happen. We don't want Bill Gates to come anyway. No, you can't say his name 3 times. He don't material. Oh wait, no, that's well, you know. Bill Gates, Bill Gates, Bill Gates. It's kind of like Beetlejuice, just pops up out of nowhere. Good morning, Terry. Good to see you this morning, dear. Hope you're doing well. Good morning, Cheryl. Good to see you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Oh, but like I said, I hope everybody is. I wouldn't mind his bank account or just a quarter of it. I, I'd. I'll be honest with you. I'd be happy with 1/64th of it, and I wouldn't. I wouldn't scoff or bitch or moan one bit. 1/64th of his bank account, I could buy a chain of pizzerias and just hire a driver to take me around and train people how I make the pizzas. So I don't know what's he worth now. Let me look at that real quick. Bill Gates net worth 122.9 bill. Wait, let me do this right. 122.9 billion dollars. Elon Musk 204.7 billion. Jeff Bezos 181.3 billion. Bernard on Arnott 207.6 billion. I'll take any of them on as investors. I don't care. I don't care. I think Bill Gates is holding up in his bunker in New Zealand. Didn't even know he has a bunker. Yes, he do. They made that money on the back of regular people. Exactly. Exactly. It'd be great to find out one of them is a long lost relative or something like that, and they leave me a chunk of money. Then I'd start giving the money back to people. Yeah, the really sad thing is whether you're a 100,000-aire or a billionaire, you're always making all your money on the backs of regular people. I mean, sit and think about it. Even my bosses now that just sit around their home office and talk on the phone all day make all their money off of what we do. I actually feel kind of blessed that they don't have everything in the kitchen that I use to make my pizzas, because then they know my recipe. So I do the best I can with people love it. I get in my own place. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. People are really gonna love it. No, you're right, Terry. It doesn't mean it's right. It just means that's the way it works in this wretched world, and I can't. Can you imagine? Gosh, I'm not even 1,000 there. Yeah, I know. Hell, I'm not even 100 air. I've got my paycheck in my pocket from last week because by the time I actually got out of work, there was no place I could cash it. Our only grocery store in town only cashes checks during banking hours, and by the time I got out of work, oh wait, and they only cash checks up to $200. My check was a big whopping $233 last week for a whole week's work. So, thank you, 17 hours or whatever it was, 18 hours. Damn you for taking me over that limit. 1.2 or so anyway, but the insurance will fix that shit. Fancy pants. Blue jeans, baby. Yep, you got it. That's what I'm wearing. As you can see, I'm already dressed for work. I got my coat and everything on. I'm wearing a pair of jeans with it. I'm not that fancy smancy guy, y'all. Believe it or not. As if you can't tell. And kind of muddy ones. At that, my very hyper boy dog. You gotta love the doggies, though. You gotta love the doggies. Well, in case you guys didn't hear, we got more snow last night. It rained for 2.5 days and pretty much um, disintegrated all the snow we got last week, except for, right at the road's edge where the plow trucks plowed everything up at. And then the temperature dropped last night, rain switched to snow. We got about half an inch or so fine covering over everything. So didn't get cold enough to freeze all the rainwater on the ground though. So when I drug the trash out to the curb this morning for the old trash man, I was walking through snow over huge muddy mud puddles. So go figure. It's been 35 Fahrenheit for 3 days. That's right around where we've been. Today's going to be our like our fourth day. So north of my state got snow. I live in the south. Didn't get a flake. Go figure. Winter's not over yet, so on my way to work. Be right back. Be safe, girl. We'll be here. I don't think we're going anywhere for an hour and 45 minutes. Coffee tastes good this morning. It's just chilly enough outside. The coffee tastes good. But at least it's a Monday. I'm hoping and praying we're busy, at least up at the bar while I'm there. So I'm not standing around with my thumb up my old Watusi all day. I'm going to rearrange the garage today to set up my ham shack. Sounds like a plan. As long as it's warm in that garage, man, go for it. Do it to it. got a real good video coming out tomorrow, guys. I decided to kind of switch gears over to the 20th century a little bit. I decided that there's a lot of stuff out there about the Great Depression. And with a lot of our extremely wealthy people in America all fearing a recession in 2024, that maybe I should kick back and I should do something a little different about the Great Depression. So I was able to throw together something that was 80% the voices of America from the Depression. So, I mean, we all hear stories about the things that happened during the Great Depression. This time, in this video, you actually get to hear the stories from the people who lived it and their descendants that they told the stories to. Some very, very good stuff in there. Very good stuff. According to the display on the heater, it's 80. Sounds like good working in the garage weather to me. Good morning, Nick. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. 80 is at the ceiling. It's about 70 on the floor. Well, heat rises, so yeah, it's always going to be warmer at ceiling level than it is, where you stand at. But definitely 70 is perfect. Getting over being sick, so doing great. That's exactly how I felt on Saturday, man. After last week, getting my butt handed to me, sick, being sick all last week and stuff, hardly being able to talk, which, kind of a blessing in disguise to the wife and daughter. But yeah, come Saturday when I could actually start to talk again, didn't feel like stomped crap. It was great. Good morning, Santee. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well out there in Tucson. Been listening to the radio for 2 weeks, and today's the first time I heard people on that thing. That's definitely a good thing. I mean, it'd be nice to know that you're not the only one that still uses a ham. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of a good thing, I guess. Sorry it took 2 weeks to find any good conversation, but I bought 6 new radios in the last week. Can see it now, guys. His office looks like an armory. His garage is going to look like a NASA flight station or a command center. So, yeah. Mission control. Ground control to Major Tom. Major Tony. Ground control to Major Tony. It's a matter of catching activity while it happens. Now, most are going into a steel box. Ah, gotcha. Probably have 2 or 3 radios at my desk. That's not too awful bad, I guess. You can manage 2 or 3 radios. Yeah, but as long as the weather holds out, I'm going to be staying busy here on the days that I'm not up there working for the man. Still trying to get a business proposal drawn up for the pizzeria. I think I might have told you guys last week. I actually found um, a place right here in town that used to be a pizzeria, and they ran for a little over 25, almost 30 years, until COVID hit, and they were not able to maintain. So, they were retired. That place pretty much, that was just pretty much their money thing. That was most of their income. So, besides their retirement. So, they closed it down at the beginning of the pandemic. And here, 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago, a company bought it, was going to turn it into a bakery. Well, they went in there and they spent about $12,000 or $13,000 and completely remodeled the place, enlarged the dining room, remodeled the kitchen, brought in new display cases and stuff. And they were going to use the old pizza ovens to bake in. And something happened. They decided they couldn't do it, so they put the place back on the market for 184,000 with a 30 space parking lot, drive through, fully furnished building, all the supplies you need on the inside. They even still have all the pizza pans and stuff that the place used to use in storage that goes with it. So, looking for that investor to be able to pick that place up. I should be able to close on it for like 10%, 20%, something like that. Of course, you know how it works. The more you can close on, or more you can close with, the better the deal looks. So that's in the plan right now. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. I'm staying positive about it. The wife is slowly starting to turn my way on it a little bit, though. She don't think it's too much to bite off, so. Don't have outdoor antenna up yet, hence not hearing much. I got my license in '97, thanks to my 2 brothers. Love the movie Twister. Always a good idea, especially where you live at. Hope y'all get some good finances for a setup. I appreciate that, Santee. I really do. It's going to be a challenge, but I'm going to be working for myself, which has always been my dream. And, we've already got a relationship with a food service here. Um, Stan's Food Service supplies all of our pizza stuff. They actually have a chef that works for Stan's that goes around and checks out these different locations that they supply to. And
I gotta go, hurry up.
Working.
Apparently it's icy out.
It didn't feel like it when I took the trash out.
Okay, well, Kelsey's driving and she told me.
Okay. Have a good day. Hey, you and Bill go withdraw him startup cash. Never wanted to work for myself. I noticed that though my dad loved being a service manager at a dealership and being over all the other mechanics and building the relationships with the customers that he had over the 40 years he done it, he was even happier doing the same job with less people to answer to in the business when he retired and started doing it out of his garage. He didn't have all the electronic equipment. He didn't have all the diagnosis equipment, things like that. But he had a better relationship with his clientele, not having salesmen, managers, owners to answer to. And that's really how I feel about it, because I go to work and I give them 125% every day, and it's never enough. But the other guy that's there with me sits on his phone and video chats all day, and he's like, oh, heaven sent. So, and besides that, you can't take a town, you can't take a town of 3,000 people and take their only nice bar slash restaurant and basically turn it into an Indian restaurant and expect it to have the same reception that a town of 1,000,000 people where there are other restaurants located and have the same success. These are simple folk up here. They don't want curry chicken and stuff like that. They want burgers, fries, chicken sandwiches, pizza. So, I'm an asshole. You're not an asshole, Tony. You're a good guy. I know that. You're a good guy. I did work for myself doing mechanic shit after work, but one does what one must, of course. All the electronic shit back in the day was to impress customers. I never used that stuff. The dealership my dad worked at, they actually spent like $25,000 on a diagnostic computer. They called it a Fred, an effing ridiculous electronic device. Nobody ever used it. It did all these EKG looking things and printed that out. And then the man had to learn how to read that printout when, you would go through an hour for this thing to diagnose an engine. And the old man could take a piece of wooden dowel rod and stick it up to his ear and lay it down on a valve cover, and he could tell you, what lifters were not working right, and or what noises, it was amazing to watch him work. Now today is different. Hammers won't fix computer electronic stuff. Oh, hammers do fix electronic computer stuff. Good morning, Gunny. Good to see you this morning, bud. Hope you're doing well. That's all to work for. I got you. Hope everyone in the chat is doing okay. Have a great day. It's exactly how I feel. It is Manic Monday. I'm just looking forward to getting back up there, seeing my customers, tossing my dough. You know, I was in there on Saturday, and I had a I had a couple of older men with their wives that came in, sat down in one of the booths where they could see in the window, and they were going to get sandwiches and stuff like that. And they seen me. I got an order in for a pickup of two large pizzas, and they were back there watching me hand toss the dough and hand roll the crust and stuff like that. And they very quickly changed their order. They wanted pizza. So they're like, it's been years since we've had hand tossed pizza. And oh my God, the stuff he puts on those pizzas. I'm on the right side of the grass. Wait, mud. Yeah, exactly. Nothing that a pair of rubber gloves and Vaseline can't fix. Tossing your dough. Why does that sound dirty? Well, I'll draw you a picture and send it to you. Morning, Deb. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Thought you were muted or something. Or a mute. Tossing your cookies used to be a slang phrase for yeah, we don't toss our cookies. I don't even get to make cookies. I let my daughter do the baking. She's much better at coming up with really cool recipes when it comes to baking. I made peanut butter cookies last week. They lasted 12 hours. Well, at least they lasted 12 hours. I mean, that's a definite something because when I make peanut butter cookies or peanut butter fudge or something like that, it's lucky to last that long. And six of those were night. Hey, that can be Drew's choice name. Tossing my dough. No, I honestly think if I can get it started up, if I can find the investors that I need to get it started up, um, I think we're going to call it Papaw's Pizza because that's what the grandbaby calls me. Well, that's the name that she's being taught to call me is Papaw. That's what my um, that's what the younger of my other grandkids call me. So I think it's gonna be Papaw's Pizza. Papaw's Pizzeria, much like the sign on the thumbnail for this video. Has anyone here tried any of those tabletop pizza ovens? Actually, if we were forced to get, and still, if we're forced to get the other location we're looking at that's not got the pizza ovens and stuff already in it, that's what I'm looking at. Are the tabletop pizza ovens, and they'll do up to a 20-inch pizza. So I'm honestly looking at four of those get them off Amazon from a supplier for right about $460 a piece. Um, but uh, two of them are equal to our large pizza oven we have in the restaurant now. So I've heard nothing but good things about them. So I don't know. Bitter G. Okay, dog. I'll make sure. Bitter G. Bitter G. Bitter, bitterg.com. Cool, cool, cool. Could be electric, but I've seen gas ones with a marble center. Yeah, the ones that I was looking at have got the stone base in them. So you're basically cooking on a hot stone, which they do come in gas and electric. So another big positive. My uncle ran an arcade joint, served pizza from electric tabletop oven. Our old skating rink used to do that, but they only done like I think they done up to a 12 inch. Um, but they mostly done the little personal 8 inch pizzas, and they were very popular. Of course, that was back in the '80s, but yeah, they people done it. People ate pizza in there all the time. Um, kind of like a toaster oven, only fit a pizza. No need to stand. Your applause is more than enough. Iron Dog 63 is in the house. When you get this up and rolling, let me know, Drew. Make up some leather products for y'all to sell and whatnot. Oh, of course, dude. Of course. I am gonna have to come to you though, Nick, and get like leather aprons and stuff. I've actually been thinking about getting a hold of you already with for a leather apron. I don't like these cheap black aprons that they have at the place I work at now. I would prefer to have a leather apron that I can just wipe off and go back to work and still look good. Random budget bump in the road. It's going to delay me. I'm feeling a hit one myself. I only stand for ladies entering the room. His were 12 inch. Come think of it. Tombstones. There we go. www.bitterg.com. Event lot. Cool. I'll do that, dog. I'll do that. Was a deal when Tombstone provided the oven and brought frozen pizzas in. Well, that damn thing did a great pizza though, or I was drunk and didn't care. Yeah. And see, that was the drinking thing was another thing that the wife had brought up was um, well, when this place, when the bar closes down, which we know it will, um, how are you going to draw that crowd to come in and get pizzas that sit and drink beer? And I've noticed that a lot of times, unless it's a party, a Super Bowl party, a football game, football Sunday, whatever the case may be, a lot of those people that come in and order pizza drink soda pop. They don't drink beer. I mean, the ones that come in for dinner or whatever the case may be, come in for lunch, they usually drink soda. They don't drink alcohol. Like I said, that changes, of course, when it's a party. Um, but yeah, I'm not gonna. Maybe 5 years down the line, I'll get a beer license. But I'm not really. I'm not really. No, not big on that. Nick, give the best contact method again. I'm forgetful. Plus, don't hurt to advertise. Nope, you're right about that. Cool. Sounds good, Nick. Liquor licenses are, bitch. Liquor licenses are. Beer licenses, on the other hand, aren't bad at all. I seen a lot. Now, granted, this was in Texas, but I seen a lot of people just going out and building cinder block buildings, and they would put um, 6 overhead doors in it, or 5 overhead doors. Overhead door on one end, 2 on each side. Maybe leave the back closed if they had a 6th overhead door. And they were getting their beer licenses cheap. You could bring in your own liquor to drink, but you couldn't bring in beer. So, because that's all they sold there was beer. Here in Illinois, there's no distinction between beer and booze. Oh, well, I don't know. Google speaks poor Taiwanese. It really honestly does. It really honestly does. You are correct about that. So I hope everybody is staying warm and cozy now. Looks like we're back in the winter weather thing a little bit. I don't know. Let's see here. What does my week have in store? 32 degrees right now. Oh my goodness gracious. Supposed to get up to 38 degrees today. Um, this afternoon, late sometime. Thirties today, high 30s today, high 30s tomorrow. 40, 45, 41, 42, 42. Whew. Man, I'll tell you what, it's about time to get out the lounge chair and try to catch a tan. Looking up something yesterday, I don't recall what. Google's suggestion was so far off base that I thought, what the actual. Yeah. Well, you know me, Nick. I won't contact you on Rock and K Leather. I won't get you on Facebook. I just call you on Messenger. I just video chat with my Nick. I was looking for a downloadable manual for one of my radios so I could make it big enough to read. Tell me about it, dude. That's one thing I really like about having about the screen not working on this laptop. So, I have to push the screen off on the 35-inch TV because it's more than big enough for me. I mean, I got letters on there that are over an inch tall. So, yeah, it's pretty easy to read when I'm doing, I'm still doing that to it, but maybe you should try that too. They're a little older than me. Get yourself a 60-inch or something and slide it in there on your desk right behind your computer. And I have reading glasses, but if I use them for more than a few minutes, I get a massive headache. I can definitely feel you there. That's why I'm very, very thankful for these overcast days when I don't have to deal with a lot of sunlight, because with this eye all hazed over and everything, it's like somebody's shining a halogen flashlight straight in my eye. Do not try feeling on me, feller. Okay. So you have past work or a post of images, or you wing it after a consultation what the customer wants. So waiting on the spatula and knife holding diagram so I know what I'm working with. Asterisk. Do diagram for Nick. Big letters. Today. There it is. Big letters. Do diagram for Nick today. I will send that to you this afternoon, bud, when I get home. I have photos of past work, plus I do custom work, so I can do what fits your needs. Don't fall over, damn you. Sit right up there where I can see you. Put that right there so I see it as soon as I come home. Yeah, if you go on Nick's Facebook page for Rockin' K Leather, you'll be able to see some of his previous work. Well, there you go. He's telling you exactly what I was getting ready to tell you. And of course, another really cool thing about opening the restaurant up, it'll give me an escape to start a second channel on the platform, um, where I'll have cameras in the restaurant, to constantly advertise for the restaurant, which is something I have suggested over and over again for the bar. Um, Letting me come in and film the parties and the kitchen and the bartenders and stuff like that, the wait staff. Um, they don't see a need in it, even though it's been proven time and time again that using social media is great advertising. Um, Hell, I just read a story not very long ago from New York where a little restaurant fell into problem because they were starting to get so successful that the landlord started wanting to raise their rent, and they actually started off by almost doubling their rent. And some teenage girl came in with her mom, and she heard part of the conversation and offered to help them. And of course, they shot it down. We try to stay away from the social media thing, except for our personal accounts. Da, da, da. Turned around where I guess 2 weeks later they still haven't figured out how to come up with the increased rent money. And the little girl and her mom came back in again because it was such a cute little place and they really enjoyed it, and the customer service was great. And she started a TikTok on the place. And as the TikTok started to grow, then they started looking at other YouTubers and TikTokers that done like food challenges and stuff like that, and they came up with a 10-pound burger. It was a 10-pound burger challenge. They had custom buns that came in that were 16 inches across. Um, but they would bring out a hamburger that was 14 inches tall, had all the lettuce and tomatoes and everything. It had fries all around it. If you could come in and you could finish it, then it was free. Nobody, one of the biggest food reviewers um, on YouTube, actually went in and tried to do it and couldn't. But it got so popular that people were coming in and ordering this $70 hamburger platter, and not even went to the food challenge. It just looked so good. They were bringing 3 and 4 people in to just order this thing and eat it because it was so good. I mean, you're talking uh, 3 inches by 16 inches of hamburger on this thing. And the place blew up. It blew up. They more than tripled their normal monthly income in those 2 weeks. So, and then it blew up. They don't want to do the social media thing here. I'm not afraid of it. I'll be right there making the pizzas, explaining what I'm doing, sharing recipes, you know, advertising the atmosphere, all that kind of stuff. So, keep close eye on and be safe. I have one of those Australian plastic pew pew you hate so much, Tony, and getting rid of Austrian plastic pew pew. Speaks fairly fluent typo. A place in Texas that has a steak challenge like that. Mm. I've seen a lot of those, Tony. When I was growing up, my family would take vacations to the west and the southwest. I've seen a lot of those 97-ounce sirloin. with all the fixings and stuff. You finish it, the table eats for free. Hardly anybody was able to finish it. Could you imagine a 97-ounce sirloin steak? Could you imagine the size of the cow that a 97-ounce sirloin steak come from? Of course, that was back in the day when you went out and ordered a steak and it came to you and it was almost as big as your plate. Now you go and order a steak at a restaurant, it would fit on a tea saucer. Trading polymer for good old fashioned metal revolver goodness, hopefully. If you want some holsters for those pew-pews you're selling, Gunny. I'm accepting what I like and not being trendy or tactical. Here's what has been going on since at least the early 70s. Yep, I've got my wife and daughter both on the lookout for a package from Illinois, um, just in case I'm not home. Granted, we've never had an issue with porch pirates, but my wife actually drives in front of the house to come up the alley and back into her parking space, um, via the alley to our driveway. But my daughter, when she gets off the bus of an afternoon, usually about an hour and a half before I get home, she now walks up the front steps right by the front of the house. So um, yeah, I got them watching. Essentials might want scabbards for long pew-pews and slings. Maybe a holster or two. I find that revolvers are easier for me to shoot accurately. Don't bother, I ain't found a box. It's been to test the thing yet. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, I can do just need to know what type so I can make sure I have material to find the right pew-pew to build around. Uh, well, that was almost an incident for screenshots right there. Wait a minute. That antenna box might work. just about spewed coffee all over y'all. I have some things I've made. I'm making plus some other pew pew leather I've made. Pew pew leather is always nice to have around. Gurgle, 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 gurgle. What's the length on it, Tony? I have a 17-inch tram antenna coming in a week or so. That box will work. There you go. About 32 inches. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. One apostrophe equals a foot, and a quote equals inches. Um, Gunny, I have used and seen both the gas and the electric tabletop pizza ovens, and both of them work wonderfully. Um, the electric ones I've seen in the past have got an electric burner, an electric flame burner. Let me put it that way. It gets as hot as a flame does, and of course, they've both got the stone bases on them, or the stone bottoms in them. So both of them work equally well um, when it comes to cooking pizza at home on tabletop. I ain't forgot. It's just getting shit lined up. Of course, my friend. I know how it is. You seen what I had to do earlier. I got to write stuff down all the time so I don't forget things. That's why I have the wife make me a honeydew list. Um, so she doesn't tell me to do things, and then I come home and get busy doing something else and forget to do them, and then, have to listen to how disappointed she is because she has to do it on her day off. Sarah was going to work. Um, she said she was heading to work. She'd be right back. So I'm sitting here right beside my desk. Well, the case, but the gun is inside. Yeah, of course. I understand. Looking very forward to it, my friend. Looking very forward to it. You guys know when you send me things like that, those things are very, very special to me. And, I use them. I use them till they damn near fall apart. Red dot sight. Hmm. Sounds fun. Sounds fun. And, one of my buddies right here close by, Mike, he's been in here before. Um, he just last summer um, bought an AR, and he has his AK now, and he likes to go to the gun range and shoot all the time. So this gives me a good excuse to go out and play pew pews. I was gonna keep that, but looking through it, I prefer iron. Oh, no problem, Gunny. No problem at all. Yeah, the oh, I forgot to tell you guys when I went to work on Saturday. We have these normal daily, food and drink specials that we've always done, 7 days a week. And the new owners decided that they good morning, Skipper. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. They decided to do away with all weekend specials. But they can't figure out why nobody comes in on the weekends anymore. Unless they're having a party or something like that. They've completely done away with pizza specials, food specials, drink specials, Saturdays and Sundays now. They say that Saturdays and Sundays should be when everybody wants to go out and drink anyway. They shouldn't need specials to be drawn to a place. Once again, this is the big restaurant in a big city mentality for a small bar restaurant in a town of less than 3,000 people. So, it's a joke. It's a laugh. Yeah, who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? No, logic is not common no more. Because, of course, like today, we'll do like chicken and steak quesadillas um, with sides, and they'll be $3 off what they normally are. We will sell the crap out of chicken and steak quesadillas. Tomorrow is Taco Tuesday, where we do taco salads. I do supreme burritos. We do soft and hard tacos. We will sell the crap out of those. But, yeah. I'm going to jump off here, about to go through a dead zone at work. All right, Nick, you take care of yourself, bud, and I'll get with you this afternoon. They don't sound very smart for owning a restaurant. They're making a killing in a small town, knowing what people like. Yeah, but see, they don't listen to any of us in a small town. If we come up with an idea on how to improve business, they shoot it down. But if 5 minutes later, one of their people, and once again, I believe it's a cultural thing, if one of their people repeat our idea, then it's great. It's earth changing. And they really honestly don't know anything about they really honestly don't know anything about running a bar/restaurant. They run a restaurant. But it serves nothing but Indian food. And we just recently found out that the owner is going to be going back to India here in a month or so, and he's going to be bringing back a girl from India that he wants our manager to train everything that has to do with the front of the bar. So we're pretty sure that once again Drew was right, and this place is going to be completely and totally Indian ran before the end of 2024. Which is why Drew is trying so very hard to get Papaw's Pizzeria opened up as soon as possible, so none of us are unemployed. Let's put it that way. Because my manager, which is my wife's aunt, has already told me that she's more than willing to come and work as a delivery driver for me. And we have another employee there at the bar who has also said the same thing, that she will be more than willing to come and work as a delivery driver for me. So I would have two delivery drivers right off the bat and be the only place in town for a 15-mile radius that delivers. Now, we have places in other towns that deliver, but they don't deliver out this far. They've only got like a 3 or 4 mile radius on their delivery. You know, we would deliver the entire town. We would probably do a 5 or 6 mile um, delivery radius. Nobody listens to essential workers anymore. My job site is struggling slightly, so I just inked and request to eat up my PTO time in case it goes Davy Jones' locker. Yeah, I don't blame you for that. I don't blame you for that. And a lot of companies are actually a lot of places are actually doing away with the PTO time. Um, well, they're not technically doing away with PTO time. What they're doing is your PTO time can add up all year, like your vacation time can add up all year, and then on the first of the next year, it's all gone. You start over. Luckily, the casinos and stuff don't do that because it's the PTO time is basically like your 401k. It's pooled, so it's good as long as you're employed there. But a lot of places actually are doing away with vacation time now. I don't care if you've got 3 weeks of vacation saved up at the end of the year, and you're just 2 days away from getting that fourth week completed. On the last day of that calendar year, it's gone. So you have to use it in that 365-day period from January 1st till December 31st. You know, it's not the best time to start something. Interest is too high. Yeah, see, Tony's wife's job's that way. If price is pooled, but it is DOA, if they can you. Oh, of course, of course. You don't get paid for those days that you have acquired. Yeah, they won't. Yeah, they won't do that shit. But they will pay it out. She just don't get more hours off the past year. See, that's one thing I liked um, about the old man's job as a service manager. He got vacation time, and if he didn't use it by the end of the year, on his last paycheck, they would actually give you the financial equivalency. So if you had 2 weeks of vacation time saved up, they would basically pay you for 80 hours work added to your last paycheck of the year. Which in a way kind of sucked because my old man didn't just work 40 hours a week. He would actually, I seen my dad work many, many, many 10 and 12-hour days when I was growing up. But they would pay you um, for a scheduled 80 hours on your last paycheck on top of your regular week's pay. Now my mom when she wasn't doing the the waitressing thing, she would go to work. There was a Japanese owned automotive components plant in a neighboring town where they lived at in Indiana, and she would go to work for them. Um, Packing exhaust pipes and stuff like that. And um, she had to use her vacation time during that scheduled year or she lost it. So, but these are also the same people who made you come into work every morning and do a half hour of stretching and calisthenics and stuff before you could start your shift because they didn't want any injuries. They wanted people to be nice and loose and limber and everything before you started working and sweating. 20 years or so back, they had several people that had up to a year's PTO and they retired the year during early due to that. Wow. What pisses me off is 2024 be online for me to monitor it, accruing, not gone, HR ding out. What totals available? All right. It is almost 20 after 9, guys. I've got to make a little run to the, you know. So talk real nice amongst yourselves, and I'll be back in just a minute. Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. A very good idea. Not gonna happen. Tony being left alone. When I did the Fed Cop gig, I was required to come in a half hour early at minimum to do a starter shift paperwork and info exchange. Starter shift was actually me doing the other guy's end of shift report. You shouldn't be as good at your job as you was. That's why they came in and had you finish up everybody else's stuff that they didn't get done because you're so damn good at what you do. Unfortunately, I'm finishing a second shift job as well. They're just lazy as hell. Mine. But it was all freebies. Go figure. Ah, I meant to tell Skipper. I don't know if he's still in here or not, but I meant to tell him that my stepson, with the birth of their daughter and stuff, he has turned in to a numismaniac. He is now going through every coin that we bring in the house, um, and checking them, comparing them to his database on his laptop and his phone. Um, looking for misprints, mistakes, rare coins. I just gave him an Indian head penny last night, and they were looking through a bunch of nickels and pennies and stuff, and for the older rare ones. So yeah, kind of tickled me that in a sense we're all that way. I actually gave him all my pennies. I had about $20 in pennies, and now I've got silver left from my paychecks for the last year, and that's just one bag I've got laying around here. But the Fed cop gig was basically armed security guard. We were attached to specific abilities. Nice. Good morning, Debbie. Good to see you this morning, dear. Hope you're doing well. I might have 2 or 3 pennies. I actually just cashed my change in at work on Saturday. I had $9 in change in my pocket, and I figured, hey, well, technically, the United States does not have pennies. We have cents. We never did adopt um, the name penny for our change. It was actually taken. It was actually taken from the pence, but they're legally called a 1 cent piece, and I guess people just started calling them pennies to shorten it up. But yeah, cash poor. What are you pennies? What are those that I mentioned that I paid the cabin off? Good job, bud. Good job. Congratulations getting that paid off, man. Yeah, that's our goal here too, is to actually get this place paid off as quick as we can. I think we still owe like 37,000 on this place, which is stomach churning to think that grandma and grandpa bought this place almost 20 years ago and we're still paying on it, and owe 2/3 of what the place still. Um, yeah, God, did they take advantage of those old people? God, it's disgusting. We don't have them anymore. It's 1:30 a.m. Why are you still up, young lady? You need to get some sleep. In a half hour, when we're off here, you can go to bed. We don't have them anymore up here. Done away with them. See, I love Canadian money. I love the appearance of Canadian money. I love uh, the loonies and the toonies. The paper money is absolutely beautiful. Um, a lot of countries, Canada included, um, the money, the design. of money was always artistic. And we did away in America with the truly beautiful paper money and stuff a long time ago. Um, but the money that you guys have in Canada, the money in France and Britain and Germany is just absolutely gorgeous. Um, it's beautiful. I love it. We don't want to really pay the house off early due to tax and ends being in the house payment. Yeah, that's understandable. Or she don't, I should say. To support you, my friend. And I love that support. I love that support. I hope karma is a real thing for some dimwits in the world that do that. Yeah, and it's really sad because I mean, if you sit and I've done this, and the wife still thinks I screwed up the math somewhere. But if you sit and you take, like, when Grandma passed away, we still had $38,000 to pay on this place when Grandma passed away a year ago. And I sat down and I done the math. Now, take into consideration that I wasn't able to figure in increases in payments and extra escrow for things and stuff like that that pay the taxes and the insurance and stuff. But I sat down, I figured out they paid over $100,000 for this modular home. $100,000 on a modular home. And we've got approximately 30, 39, 39 months left to pay on this place before we can even make a cash settlement on it. My mom is in rehab right now. If she doesn't come home, the state will take her house and I'll be out. It's sad my dad and mom worked hard to pay this house off. It really honestly is, Terry. And that's the only reason that we kept this one, because this was Grandpa's dream. This was Steph's grandpa's dream. He loved this house. They looked at several houses. He loved the layout of this house. And the 10 years between or the 11 years between when he bought this place and then he died a year later. And then I came into the picture 8 years later. If he's seen the disarray that it fell into, and how it looks now compared to then, he would be disgusted by it, because there was nobody around to work on the place. There was nobody around to fix things. No, Grandma didn't have the money to get the roof redone. It had 10-year shingles on it. The house is 19 years old. The roof needs completely redone on it. The whole place needs power washed. Um, how they set up the crawl space underneath it caused the house to shift. So there's a crack that runs along the ceiling in the plaster and stuff that completely needs redone. It's terrible how they built these places. When they built them, 20 years ago, they used old equipment, old dishwashers, old stoves, things like that. And now You either have to find that one special place that carries a part that goes bad, or spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars replacing the appliance completely. That's like the dishwasher. You guys that have been with me for a while knows the dishwasher went out last year. You can turn off the water to it, but you can't pull the dishwasher out because they only got about that much line on the back of it. You can't pull the dishwasher out and replace it without disassembling the entire cabinet that was built around the dishwasher and stuff. You have to take the whole countertop off, pull out the whole end of the cabinet, then you can get behind the dishwasher to disconnect everything to pull it out and replace it. So, we're sitting here with a new, very, very slightly used dishwasher out in the shed and a non-working dishwasher in the house because you can't get behind it without major construction and ripping out the whole end of the cabinetry to get behind the dishwasher to disconnect the stuff. So yeah, that's how they built these places is disgusting. We have about a year left on it. Yeah, it was uncommon. My uncle did 98,000 on a modular 20 years ago. At the time, I thought he was nuts. I'm sick about it. Mom is more than I can handle. We can only afford 20 hours a week of home care. I talked BA. They will get back to me. Well, I hope and pray. I hope and pray that they get back with you and the VA is able to help, because you definitely need that help. That's for sure. Modular homes are built to be easy to assemble, not to fix. Very, very true. Very true. But in the spring, we do have a family member that power washes decks and driveways and stuff. And he will be coming over to power wash the exterior of the house. I am looking at companies here in the Michigan area that do the roofing thing, the metal roofing, and seeing if I can buy the material for the metal roofing from them and just assemble it myself. Modular homes built, I think they're bad. Try an RV. Oh, believe me, I know. I've known several people. Matter of fact, Steph's cousin 2 years ago, they had a pull behind camper, and it needed completely remodeled, and it took them, God, 2.5 months. Once they finally found somebody that could do it, they completely gutted it and redone and modernized the inside of it. And it's a wonderful little camper now. But they had a pile of debris outside that camper for 2 months that was as big as the camper. Once they ripped out all the walls and the flooring and the insulation and the cabinetry and the beds and the couches and everything, and completely modernized it and rewired it and got it up to code. And buy the house from your mother for $1. That way they can't take it from you and sell it to your child for $1. So it's no longer yours. You should go to a property lawyer or tax attorney to put the house under a trust. That's a very good idea, Debbie. I tried that 5 years ago. My sister's had a fit. Now it's too late. mother was in a nursing home. I bought both the house, 4 cars, and a camper for $1 each. State couldn't touch them. Said the folks who build campers have no business with a set of Lincoln logs, let alone RV. Very true, man. This place, this place looks like it was put together. Um, it looks like it was put together by drunk monkeys. Uh, Plain and simple. It's terrible. You know, I've crawled underneath this on the crawl space. The crawl space is better built than the home is. It's terrible. Have a legal background. That way you look poor on paper, and it makes liquidators difficult to see what assets you have. Now, why in the world would your sisters throw a fit, though, Terry? That's what I don't understand. Um, that's what I don't understand. The family's going to lose the place anyway. Why would they care if you took it over? It just makes little or no sense why they would have any say in it anyway. You know, that's why we were very lucky that nobody in the family wanted this place. They all had large homes or didn't want the extra added responsibility. So, you know, you guys know they got the insurance, we got the debt. You know, and, which is fine with us. We didn't care. That's what I tried to do, but the house is in the will under all us girls. Does anyone have a room for rent? I wished. My grandfather built this house. They don't care. They just don't want me to have it. You tell them to kiss your smooth white butt. You're the one that's been staying there taking care of your mom. You're the one that's been taking care of the upkeep on the property and stuff like that. And besides that, if the state's going to swoop in and take the house anyway, whatever's in the will doesn't apply because your mom doesn't own the house outright. So, you know, and if she does, then the state can't just come in and take it. Who's responsible and not owing anybody? Yeah, exactly, dog. Okay, so let's run the wiring up this here corner. Oh, now we will screw cabinets right there with screws that are too long and ship it with dead shorts in the 110 wiring that electrifies the trailer. Well, y'all know what happened with the 1 hour and guys, I honestly know what I'm talking about in this because I worked at a factory not very long after Hurricane Katrina hit. I worked in an RV factory, and the FEMA trailers literally took an hour and a half to build. The fork truck would bring in a frame. They would put it at the beginning of the line. They would put on the flooring. They would frame. They would do the exterior walls. They would do interior walls, ceilings, and then they would put in the cabinetry and stuff. Last thing to go in was the appliances, and they were out the door, hooked to the back of a truck, and taken to the train yard where they were loaded up. Now, could you imagine knowing what hit the news about those FEMA trailers less than 8 months after they moved them to the Arizona desert, waiting to ship them to people that needed them. These things fell apart in 8 months, sitting out there in just the sun and the wind. I got a lawyer. I took paperwork to him and told him to F off. He said, your sister just lost the deposit. Burglary proof. Yeah, pretty much. The background noise is my coffee pot. That is my percolator percolating. I hate it, but I might pull the disability card. Do whatever you can do to save your family home. If you got to play Granny Clampett and sit on the front porch with a shotgun in a rocking chair, you do what you got to do to save the family home. When I called that manufacturer, shop guy said, we don't test 110, it's all plug and play. Of course they would. Oh, but for all the wiring with screws in it and the walls. Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing that always got me about the mass-produced modulars like that, is they will run all these wiring bundles inside the walls at, let's say, waist height. And then they put in all the cabinetry and stuff like that. And guess where the screws go? The screws go about waist height. So you don't know if you're screwing into a wiring bundle. You don't know if you're screwing into a junction, or if it's just the 2x2 frame that the wiring's all laying on. Had a friend, an old trailer and junkyard. He would tell, don't touch the outside of the trailer. Had a dead short in it, knock you on your ass, and carried a pair of rubber gloves so he could open the door. Wow. Talk about theft deterrent. Somebody come around there at night to look in your windows and get bit. Not ready to buy a gun. The guy next door figured out I'm here alone, so he's always knocking on the door trying to talk to me. When I leave, he's creepy. I have no advice to offer. My attorney has implied that I have no advice to offer on personal protection or safety concerning firearms or anything of that sort. Please consult your local laws or regulations on what rights you have on that subject. Machine I fixed on new campers was due to people being idiots while being built. Of course. The worst was when Blackwater tank fell off of one rolling down the road. Yay! Second Amendment. This is the use by a gun woman. Yeah, I don't know about where you live at, Terry, but a lot of states now, most of our states now, have got a stand your ground law. So, and once again, I don't know what it's like, you know, where you're at, but like with Michigan, um, you don't need a license or to take classes or anything like that to have a rifle or a shotgun and or any kind of open carry handguns. Only concealed carry handguns do you need any kind of a certification for in the state of Michigan. And if your state is anything like my state that does have a stand your ground law. Now, Texas was the greatest stand your ground law. It was pretty much, and the police would even tell you, um, if someone starts to walk on your property, you only have to tell them once. This is private property. No trespassing allowed. You are not welcome. Do not take a step further. If they did, you had the right to use semi deadly force. Michigan is kind of sort of the same way. All you have to do is post no trespassing, and if they trespass, that's your right to defend your property. This neighborhood sucks. I'll wave to someone, they turn their heads. You need to come to Michigan, honey. You need to come to Michigan. I cannot walk to work without getting waved at by every passing car. Everybody. Everybody around this place is so friendly and such happy, smiley people. Doesn't Drew look like a famous actor smoking that stogie? Lassie taking a shit. Probably so. Probably so. I actually had a friend of mine the other day. When I shaved my head, he said, "Hey, you know who you look like?" I said, "Who?" He said, "That dude." He said, "Now you just need to wear around your Tamersham." It's sitting right over here on my pile of hats. If I had a good black Tamersham, I'd probably wear it to work, and just to get the conversations flowing. Why the hell would anyone come to a northern state in January? Um, because we're cool. That's why. The guy across the street destroyed mom's front lawn. He parks on the street and his tires are on the lawn. Can't say anything. They lose their shit. Let them lose it. Let them lose their shit. What are they gonna do? Whine? You raised your voice at me. You're nasty. You're mean. Let them lose it. Yeah, there you go. Throw some nails out in the yard when he's where he parks at. That's always good. No, not cool. Cold. We prefer cool. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Tyler when he lived in his old house, Terry. You get two cameras. You point one at your front door and one out to where you park your truck at. That is all the evidence you need to have their butts thrown in jail if they touch your property. And you can get wireless cameras pretty cheap online. He actually done it. He actually done it, and a lot of his crap that was happening on his old property stopped. So go for it, girl. They want to play hardball. You throw that hardball faster. Here, the property line starts 60 foot from the center of the street, so the edge of the lawn is city property. Yeah, see, technically that's how it is here too. Your property line actually starts on the inside edge of your sidewalks. But the city expects you to mow their curb lawns, everything between the sidewalk and the road. But you don't own that property. That is the only downside to living here that I have ever found, is the fact that they expect you to mow their curb lawn, and if you don't, they'll fine you for it not looking decent. But it's not my property. I'm not gonna mow my neighbor's property because it looks overgrown. Why am I gonna mow yours? You should have a mowing crew come out and do the curb lawns. And in some places, we just happen to live in that neighborhood on that one block that's got 16 or 18 feet of curb lawn. Most places, it's only a strip, a few inches, maybe a couple feet. We just happen to live on that one block. It's like 16 or 18 feet between the sidewalk and the edge of the road. So security cameras, camera surveillance signs, he'll stop. 60 feet federal, 50 feet is state, 32 is county and city. That's right. You can download the footage and send it to the cops. You then get police to issue a restraining order. If you violate that, he goes to jail. Yeah. There's no sidewalk this side of the street. Now where the cabin is, and I own the street. Well, road, not street. Sorry, guys, don't mean to bring the chat down. You're not, Terry. That's fine. That's not. That's one thing I like about our little community right here, is we can come in here and talk about anything, and 9.95% out of 10 times, either somebody has gone through something like that or can at least offer some advice on how to solve that issue. So you don't bring it down for sure. Yeah, buy a gun, my go to advice. Exactly. You have the right to protect yourself, you have the right to protect your property. And it's very, very easy to get onto online and check the local laws and regulations to owning a firearm to protect your property. It's very, very easy to check it out. Much like I did when I moved to Michigan and found out that they were going to start um, making people get certification to carry firearms. But at first, they didn't emphasize that it's only a concealed carry license. It's a CCR and or a CCC, concealed carry certification. But you can open carry uh, anything from a flintlock pistol to a modern 45. You can open carry that on your hip as long as you don't put a jacket on that covers it, or you lay it in a seat or a glove box in your vehicle. It has to be laid on the dashboard where it can be seen. Hence, no certification for open carry. Any kind of concealed carry, though, you need a certification for. But that's here. It could be very different where you're at. Careful on that property part. That ain't legal in some states. Illinois, it has to be felony level property crime. Not legal here, the state. It's full of snowflakes. We got a lot of them too. There's just a lot of snowflakes out there. And it's not just this time of the year. Yeah, crap. Speaking of snowflakes, it's snowing again. Yeah, horse pucky. Be a fun walk to work. At least it's not super cold. 35 degrees and snowing. I love it. Oh, hey, the temperature dropped. How about that? 32 degrees. That's why it's snowing. You're welcome, Terry. You know, everybody has everybody's best interest at heart. And, if we can offer up some advice to help out one another, this group is always the first one to do it. We have a bunch of fucking leftist commies here. Well, how about that? Which is why my cabin isn't here. I don't hate the state, just the political element. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But that's it, guys. It is that time. I've got to get my few little things done around here, make a couple phone calls, and get ready to head out for a day of chicken and steak quesadillas. Yay me. So, you guys all have a good day. We will be on Friday morning, as usual. Don't forget, tomorrow we have a video coming out on the Great Depression, the Voices of America. So, that's it for today, y'all. Until Friday, y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. I do. And we'll catch y'all here in a few days. Have a good day, y'all.